Okay, it's Sean the plumber here. Again, we're in the bathroom where the cast iron tub was broken up. I didn't really get to show you much about that, but the main thing was that it's just best to break those up with a sledgehammer. But today, we're going to be installing the rough drain line for a lavatory faucet in the second floor bathroom. There's going to be a vanity here once we get the walls and floors all replaced, but right here's our 3-inch stack that we're running off of a upside down 3x1.5 inch T. It's upside down for any water to be able to drain backwards, because from here on up is only a vent. We're going to run our 1.5 inch through these studs, and eventually we'll be sticking out for a vanity and then going down through the floor. I've got everything already pre-cut, pre-measured, all the tools ready to go here. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my longest piece of PVC, 1.5 inch. I'm going to get my primer. You don't want to drip the stuff all over, even though this floor doesn't matter. We're going to rub that all around the affected area where you'll be applying glue. Also, this piece right here is going to go into our T, so I need to get that cleaned up. Now I'm going to take the glue, apply the glue to the 1.5 inch PVC here. I'm trying to hold my phone because I don't quite yet have a tripod or anything to hold my phone while I'm videoing, but I'm just starting out doing some YouTube videos to try to educate people on how to do these things right. When you're doing PVC, you want to make sure that you get it all the way in and just give it a little tiny turn just to smear that glue around, get any air bubbles out, and make sure that it's all the way around the pipe. Next, we're going to be putting on a coupling because these pieces are so small, you can't fit the piece in at one time. So again, I'm getting some more PVC primer. Apply this on the outside where the glue is going to go. A lot of people might go ahead and just do all their fittings and all their pieces of pipe on the end, but the glue actually works a lot better if you're putting it on the wet primer. That's the way they recommend that you do it. So that's how I do it. Take this coupling, place it on here, give it a little turn and hold it there for a second, maybe count to 10. That way it doesn't come sliding back off. You always want to have the end of the pipe clean cut and touching the inside of the fitting. So next, I'll take another piece of pipe that I already cut. I'm going to prime the pipe. You can't see it, but I'm priming it right now. I'm going to prime this coupling also. Take this piece. I just kind of cut these pieces the size of these studs because I had plenty of extra couplings and I didn't want to have to fight to get this pipe into the wall. I just wanted to go nice and smooth so I know everything's connecting properly. I'm going to try to keep these letters in line with the pipe that I already put in. That way it looks like it's all one straight piece. It doesn't have to be that way, but it looks more professional. Even though the letters are upside down and facing that direction, I'm going to keep the letters upside down and facing that direction for the duration of the project. So again, one more coupling. This will be our last coupling. We want to also make sure we put our torpedo level on this and make sure that it's going downhill a little bit. So I'll push this down. It's going down. Now it is a vent, so it doesn't have to be falling, but I just like all my pipe to fall like it's going to be a drain. I like the condensation, rainwater, anything like that to be able to not get stuck in the pipe. Priming another fitting, another coupling, gluing the coupling, and glue on the piece of pipe that we're putting the coupling onto. Try not to get glue on myself or my clothes or anything. So I've had to buy way too many work clothes because this glue does not come out once it's in there. Same goes for purple primer. So if you're using purple PVC primer, make sure not to get that on anything. If you do drop it on some tile or something, you can always use this clear primer that I'm using and rub on it a little bit and you'll get rid of most of it. So again, this time I'm going to go through this hole. Just go through the hole here. Uh-oh, looks like the end of my, no, that was something else, okay. So I still got the end of my primer. See, I've got the primer in the hole, the brush into the fitting. I'm just working it with my fingers here. That way I'm sure I've got it spread around good. Because even though there's not really going to be any water or pressure in this area, I do everything the exact same way. That way I never have any leaks. So again, same deal. I'm going to just go ahead and get some glue in that fitting. I'm not going to hold the arm because the brush is a little bit bigger because it's from a bigger can. But I don't want any glue on my fingers. That's the one hand I don't have a glove on because I won't be able to operate the buttons on my phone. So now, again, I'm going to keep the pipe facing this way. Letters go running from right to left and upside down because that's how I started it. Get the primer. I'm now applying the primer to this piece of pipe. Putting glue on the piece of pipe. Now we'll take this in through the hole. Push this down because I've already got these holes measured for it to fall as it goes in. So here I gotta turn those letters down and hold that pipe in. You see, if I let go, it wants to shoot out a little bit. So I hold that in there till it's set real well and it doesn't move. Now we're here, pretty much right, direct, and where I want to be at. So our next move is going to be a 90. Since this is a vent, we don't need to use a Studer vent in this area. And I can see that this pipe's going to land right where I want it to be once I glue this elbow. So same scenario. We're going to take the primer, put the primer on the pipe, go around a few times, make sure you get all the dirt and anything in there, but it also softens the material for the chemical reaction with the glue to occur properly. Now I'm going to put glue on the part that I just did here. And I'm going to put glue in the 90 elbow. I'm going to put this on here. But not only do I have to hold it in place, I also have to hold my level underneath it to make sure that it's facing down straight. You want to hold that on there tight. Look at the bubble. You want to be right in between the lines. So right there. Right there is really good. So that's where our elbow's going to point straight down. And from there we're going to go into a T. And the pieces that were falling, somehow these PEX 90s broke off. I didn't even lean up against them really or anything, so I'll cut those and just crimp some new 90s in when I'm done with this project. Well, you just take your finger, with a glove, without a glove, wipe off all these pieces of cut PVC off the pipe. It's very rare that this stuff will actually splinter into your skin. Just be cautious. It usually won't happen. Now I need to take a measurement to where I want my T to sit. I'd like my T to be right about where these PEX lines are coming out at. So I want my pipe to come out at 14 inches. So I'm going to hold this T, pretty much the center of it, at 14 inches. Should be right about there. So I want my piece of pipe let's see, see here. I wasn't trying to be in the video. But anyway. Right about there is where I want my pipe to start out of the fitting. So that would put us at 18.5 inches. I'm going to call it 19 inches to where we want the size of pipe we want. So I'm going to set the camera down over here. I'll get out my trusty Milwaukee hacksaw. Measure out 19 inches. I'm just going to put my thumb there. If you don't do this every day, it's probably a better idea just to mark it with a pen or a Sharpie. That way you're not holding your thumb exactly where the sawzall blade will be, but that's how I've been doing it for the past 10 years, and that's how I always do it. Only cut myself once or twice. I'll make sure you have a nice clean cut. That cut didn't come out as clean as I wanted. That's too much of an angle. That's a possibility that the fitting isn't going to hold. So I'm going to clean that up. Alright, that's a lot better. Again, I'm going to keep the letters running the exact same way on the pipe. That way everything looks uniform. So I'm just going to be working from the top down. More primer. Get some primer in the fitting. Well, apparently my phone zoomed in big time. Alright, back to 1x zoom. So I put cleaner in there, the primer. I always call it cleaner. So if I say cleaner, I'm talking about the PVC primer. Alright, I'm going to get some glue in there. Try not to get it all over my hands because the stuff does not like to come off of anything. Maybe why they call it glue. So now I'm going to hold on the top side of this 90, right about where my phone's at. Push this piece of pipe in and give it just a little turn. Now, again, we're going to put our level on this to make sure we're going straight up and down. It's not as critical here as it would be for, say, something that was 3 inch and running away from the floor